We are at Reform Film Lab today, filming this B-roll sequence with the amazing Sony a7S III and the 24mm lens. This is going to be my primary choice. We'll see if we pull out any other lenses, but right now this is like my baby. So we are going to be filming a lot of this B-roll sequence here, and we're going to do the full process of kind of what it takes from shipping film to developing film. And we'll see how many takes it takes. You'll see all the long, tedious stuff that we gotta do. But you excited about this? I'm excited.
Let's make it happen.
So you guys have absolutely got to stay tuned to the end of this video, because we are going to be doing a giveaway of a film camera and film and the processing for all the film. So stay tuned for the end of the video on the details of this giveaway. Brought to you by Reform Film Lab. For this shoot, I use my handy dandy a7S III and my absolute favorite lens of all time, the 24mm G Master lens. I was gonna use like an 85 for some other type of shots, but I got into a time crunch and we ended up just using the 24mm for all the shots. So every single shot in this video was all the 24mm. I also used a Suit Photo TP25 tube light just to get some lighting for some of these moments. We also just used the regular lights in the room, which were like fluorescent bulbs, and I just white balanced my camera appropriately to get the shots. Now I shot every single one of these in 120 frames per second S&Q mode, just because I found that I'm probably gonna slow down a lot of the shots anyway, and if I didn't need them slowed down, I would just speed them up. The picture profile that I used was S-Log3, and I color graded all these shots with Peter Lindgren's Vlog LUT, which I find is pretty appropriate for this type of video. And then I also use Mondo Byte's like a cinematic LUT. I just added it in slightly just to give it a little bit of a look, and then I took my shadows and I kind of moved the color of the shadows to more of the blue side. So that's where this video kind of got some of that look from. When it comes to these type of things, story is super important, and I knew that I wanted to show the entire process of what it takes when somebody sends their film in all the way till it gets developed and obviously printed out. So I figured that it'd be great to show the opening shot of grabbing it out of the shipment box, and then have the final shot be opposite of that, which is him putting the package into the mailbox to get shipped out the next day or whenever they get picked up. So that's the kind of story they had in my mind, and I wanted to fill in all the gaps and in between. The biggest thing is you gotta find story for these. To start off this video, he grabbed the package right out of the box. As you can see in these edits, I'm also trying to add in post-production zooms just to add even a little bit more movement and interest in the shots. For all these shots, I shot in manual focus. So what I would do is I would get the final shot framed up with the product in the exact location that it's going to end at, and I would get my focus and then quickly turn my camera to manual focus and then shoot the whole shot. Just try to autofocus onto it, and then I'll turn it off and let's see what it looks like. I think it's 1.4 goodness. All right.
Yeah.
Ready? And I'm gonna go.
Hey. Good.
3, 2, 1. That way, there was no focused movement around. I wanted it to be very precise, so that when I focused on that product, it was just boom right there. There wasn't a lot of waving in and out. Even though the autofocus is very good on the Sony, I still prefer to do it this way just to guarantee that I'm not going to have a lot of focus movement in the shots. That's another trick. You got to turn off manual focus.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because otherwise, when your hand gets in the way, you're just going to see the blur. And as you notice in this shot where the film canister kind of falls out of the bag, it's clearly two different angle shots, but on the shot where I'm kind of focusing it on the table, right when it hits the table, I added an effect in Final Cut, which was like a camera shake. So, and I just kind of exaggerated that. It just adding more movement and more interest in the shot. The editing is really where it makes a lot of these, shots look more lively. And honestly, editing can turn like kind of okay shots into really cool shots, and then in the same token, it could take really cool shots and kind of make them terrible. So, editing is the key here. You got to keep practicing and just keep trying this. And I'm not perfect by any means, but I wanted to use this definitely as another way to practice. I was trying to think of a way to like not just open up the canister of film and and drop it out or pull it out. I wanted to make it like interesting, so I figured it'd make it like kind of like popping open a bottle of wine and pop that lid off, and I added in that little sound effect to make it just add to the story even more. And I thought that the shot ended up pretty cool. I mean, slow motion, a lid popping off, anything looks cool in slow motion, right? I mean, come on. We then see a bunch of shots of the film and getting it pulled out, but as it transitions from the film down to the station below it, where you put the film on it and cut it so that he could pull it into the processing, right with the camera movement, I wanted to have a consistent movement of planning my shot where I'm going down with the camera so that I knew the next shot was going to be cutting the film. I'm going to do you going this, down, and then in the middle of the thing. Right. So I just wanted a continual like down movement. So when I was filming those, I was planning on moving down. So planning out your movements to kind of help you in the transitions, so you're not having to like put transitions in post editing. I prefer, if I can, to get all my transitions in camera and getting those movements. Always be thinking about the transitions. Like the next shot is when he takes that camera roll to go over to the processing of that film. I had him walk straight into the camera, so it kind of blacks out the whole camera, and it made for a in-camera dissolve. Things like that, just making sure you think through how you're going to be editing is super helpful for shooting these B-rolls and just going in there and taking a bunch of B-roll shots. I had that in like the camera in manual focus, and I was focusing on the lid, and I was moving with the lid as I was closing it down, so that all the movement is kind of tied together, and it just makes for a smooth edit. He took the film and put it on the drying rack. I then just kind of like over exaggerated the wind blowing in the room and kind of like moved the film and then like shot it, got a few different angles of the film, and then of course showing kind of the film developed raw right on those rolls afterwards. It's just it looked really cool and looked really neat. And the thing is, you want to make sure you shoot enough B-roll, maybe like over what you think you're going to need, because you can always cut things out that's not needed, but you can never add things into the edit that you didn't shoot. So I like to overshoot a little bit and overplan for things like that. But anyway, I had a ton of other shots of the film lab that I never even used, but I went ahead and shot them just in case I needed any fill for these particular shots, or maybe I didn't like the way that I had too much movement or too much shake. I could always add in another different shot from the room itself, but I didn't end up having to do that. I kind of got lucky there, I guess. The shot where the film was like being pulled through by the scanning machine, if you notice, that is not what that machine sounds like at all. All the effects in this entire video were all using artlist effects, and I did everything in post. I didn't have a microphone on the camera at all. It was all just added in post, and the power of adding sound effects and sound design just completely revolutionizes it. When you see the video, sometimes you don't even hear some of the effects that are actually there, because when I added the music in, it kind of replaced some of those effects. So what I did is I edited the entire video in the soundscape to what I would hear, and then I just add the music in, and if it overlaid some of those sound effects, oh well, it's still sort of there if you really listen deeply. But here, I'll play the entire clip again with just the sound effects, so you can kind of hear how much depth it adds to your edit, and it really just adds to the whole story and feel of the video. And then the final shot here was the fun. I knew that I was going to do this one right when I first started. I knew that I was going to start with him pulling it out, and I knew that I was going to end with him putting it in the bin. But I wasn't going to do it just like a cool drop it in the bin. I want to do it like a throw, like, and then I knew I was slowing it down, and I shot in 240 frames per second, and it turned out pretty cool. I liked it. And we had a lot of fun shooting that too. Michael actually is a fun dude. He does a lot of contests with his staff members and really tries to engage them. So he asked 2 of his staff members to guess how many times it would take him a successful throw into the mailbox. And one of them guessed 8, and one of them was like, you're gonna get it in the first one. Well, he did not get it in the first one. Go. Oh.
Yeah.
And his first one was actually right at 8. So the other employee won it, and she got some free film because he does that all the time where he just encourages them in some way, or they play some sort of a game in the office, and he always likes to just, oh, you get a free film today.
Ava gets a free roll of film. Perform night shots. Here you go, Ava.
He let her have some free film. That's just a cool boss right there, giving you free film to shoot on. How awesome is that? Do you want to win some free film? He is wanting to do a giveaway on this video. Here's what's going to happen. The giveaway is going to be a Harman EZ35 reusable 35mm camera, and that comes with a black and white film set. He's also going to include 2 more rolls of film from Reform Film Lab, actually, and one is going to be an ISO 400 daytime and an ISO 800 for some night shots. And he's also going to include free film processing for those rolls. So the winner is going to have a full package. You'll get a camera to use and to continue to use, and then you can try out some of his film, also the black and white that comes with it. And then when you're done shooting on all that, you can get a free coupon to get it all processed through the film lab. If you want to be a part of this contest, what you need to do is you need to like this video, go like Reform Film Lab on Instagram, and then comment down in the comments with hashtag #IShootFilm, and then give us your Instagram handle. And in 2 weeks, we will pick a winner for this package, and we're going to announce it on Reform Film Lab's Instagram account, here on this YouTube channel's community, and then, you know, best of luck to you. Go on the site, check it out below. He's just a really cool dude, and he loves shooting on film. He just loves the art of photography. So, and this was a real fun video to shoot. So I really thank you guys for watching. Best of luck to you. Remember, comment down below, like this video, do all the fun YouTube-y things, and you guys know that I will see you in the future.